Calculus 101. Today we're going to be learning two rules that are necessary. Two rules that are necessary for Calculus 101. Let's just take, for example, if you do not know what a derivative is, we're going to learn that first. Okay? We're going to learn this first right here. The derivative f prime, it's just the slope at a certain point. So here we have f of x, this function right here. And the slope f prime, it is the slope tangent to our function. And this can be written as here the limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h. And then we have here minus f of x minus that y. Another way to write f of x is y all over h. But how do you actually take the derivative? Well, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn power rule. That's right. We're going to learn power rule. Now let's get this microphone out of the way. You can see here, power rule. Power rule is x to the power of n, so x can of course be anything, equals n times x to the power of n minus 1. That is how we take the derivative through power rule. So, for example, we have x to the power of 5. What would that derivative be? Take a moment to think about it, right? Remember, the way we get the derivative is we bring down the n, the exponent, then we take n minus 1. So, x to the power of 5. What would that be? Well, we would just take that 5 and we gotta bring it down. We gotta bring it down, and then it would be 5x, but then we have to do 5 minus 1. So, let's get the board here. It would have to be x. My marker isn't working. Oh. Well, that's weird. Well, we make do. X to the power of 5, we bring the 5 down. The answer, of course, is 5x to the power of 4. But let's make it a little more complicated, huh? Let's make it a little more complicated. Let's take, right here, x to the power of 3/4. We're throwing a fraction in. But don't fret. We need to learn what we learned here. And what did we learn? Well, we have to bring the exponent down and subtract n minus 1. So, you think about it for a second, okay? X to the 3/4. Think about it. Perfect. Now we'll do it. We bring it down. So we get 3/4 x. Then we have to subtract 3/4 by 1. But we know that 1 is just 4/4. That's the same thing. So 3/4 minus 4/4, what are we going to get? Well, it's simple. Negative 1/4. However, the proper way to write this would be 3 over 4x to the 1/4 power, because we don't want negative exponents. So let's do one final one. X to the negative third. What would that be? And I'm going to do it on the whiteboard. I want you to do it right now as well, and we'll compare answers. Okay. Okay, I have my answer. Do you have your answer? Very good. Did you also get right here 3 over x to the 4th? Is that what you got? Because you bring it down the negative 3, you get negative 3x to the negative 4th, but negative 4th needs to be written like this. Is that correct? Good job. Very good job. Now there's one other thing before I leave you, is the constant rule. The constant rule. If you take the derivative of any constant, it's 0. 0. So if you take the derivative of 5, what is it? 0. And it makes sense because, of course, you cannot take the slope of a line. The slope of a line is just 0. And y equals 5. This is y equals 5 right here. It's just a line. That's all it is. So whenever there's a constant, it is 0. So if you had x to the 5th power plus 5, the 5 would go away, and it would be 0. Thank you for joining this calculus lesson. I hope you now know the power rule and the constant rule. I will see you next time.